Hi, my name is Randy. Donna and I co-chair the Rees Project Committee. We would like to take this opportunity to recap its history and update you on the progress that's been made already on your theater.
At the northeast corner of LaPorte and Michigan Streets, situated on lot number 1 of the Plymouth Plat of 1836, sits a most iconic structure that, like many buildings, has been transformed through the years to best serve the needs of an ever-changing community.
Completed in 1865, the 3.5-story brick and mortar structure served as both retail and office space for nearly 75 years.
In 1939, with the vision and drive of Stuart and Opal Rees, the couple transformed that aging structure into a brightly lit corner of activity with the 1940 opening of what would be billed as Northern Indiana's most premier movie theater.
For the next 70 years, throngs of moviegoers would line the street to view the newest releases in air-conditioned comfort. After generations of memories made, the Rees would succumb to the new and innovative design of the multiplex theater. And on December the 22nd, 2009, to the dismay of then owners John and Gwen Holzel, the theater would close.
This past January, after 8 years of sitting vacant, the transfer of ownership was made possible to the Wautogan Valley Preservation Group. The future of the Rees now lies in the hands of everyone who has ever called Plymouth and Marshall County their home.
The Rees Project Committee is sometimes known as the Dirty Dozen. We are just like anyone else with families, jobs, and commitments. But we also have a vision and a desire for more.
Our mission is to provide a catalyst for the promotion of artistic, educational, and cultural events in the region, as well as offer a venue to celebrate life and community milestones.
As many of you know, we are in the process of completing our first phase of work on the west facade. And during the course of that work, we've discovered several things that are urgent needs in terms of fixing the building so that we have a safe and secure environment.
During the memory tour in April, many of you saw the difficulties that lay ahead of us, but nobody left with disappointment, only excitement.
First two things I'd like to talk about are the restoration of a roof access building, or as we call it, the roof access shanty, that is in poor condition and needs to be completely rebuilt before we can do the roof work. Secondly, we have on the south wall of the building some fairly extreme deterioration in the brick masonry. It's bulging out over the public sidewalk, and that really needs to be fixed, and the parapet rebuilt on the building before we can do the roof. And the last thing that came to our attention the last week of June is a small portion of the ceiling actually collapsed into the auditorium. We've had that evaluated by a structural engineer, and we feel like that plaster ceiling needs to come down in total and be removed from the building so that we don't have a hazard for contractors or patrons going forward. Then the roof itself, which will involve removing the old asphalt layers on the roof that have accumulated over the last 75 years, installing new insulation, and then a new roof membrane.
So for many months, we have been investigating historic theaters that have gone through transformations of their own. We have visited and interviewed owners in the states of Tennessee, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. We have joined the League of Historic American Theaters and attended a conference in Fort Wayne. We have conducted interviews with all of the performing arts groups in the area to determine their own individual needs.
A business plan committee has been compiling information from the public through surveys and feedback to determine what they envision the new Rees to be.
Interviews are currently being conducted with food service and catering organizations to determine their need and help in designing the spaces within the confines of our current building. Expenses are being shared by other operators of similar venues to help us determine a budget, staffing needs, and other sources of sustainable income. for the Rees. Before we embark on a capital campaign later this winter or early next spring, the Rees 501c3 application will be completed. After formulating its continued use and design, bids will be secured and in-kind gifts solicited.
As a new family to Plymouth, we were immediately drawn to the Rees. This restoration project has the potential to be a catalyst for the community to come together to restore this beautiful historic building in a way that not only honors its legacy in film, but also expands its impact as a cultural event center.
Your excitement and high expectations only fuel our desire to see this through to completion. We have our sights set on the 80th anniversary year of the Rees Theatre, 2020. But first, we need your help with these critical and immediate needs that total just over $120,000. Here's Kyle to share how you can help by making the initial contribution.
We have set a large goal, but are confident that with your generosity, we can all be one step closer to making new memories at the Rees. There are a few different ways in which you can donate. You can simply drop off a check at the Marshall County Museum or go to gofundme.com/Rees Theatre and simply click on the donate button. We'll also include this link on our Facebook page, so if you aren't friends with us, please go on Facebook and like the page so that you can receive updates as we go through this process. And on behalf of everyone on the Rees Committee, we thank you for your generosity, and please share with your friends.
What do you say we step inside?